Whoa, this light is freaking me out a little bit. What's going on here? Okay, let me see if I can reposition my lights a little bit. Um, okay, so here we are. It's Wednesday, and I'm here about your wellness. Here we go. So yesterday I did post yesterday I posted my Tuesday talk that I do from my Bellafemminista Instagram page. And yeah, it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So you may want to check that out. It's on my Instagram page. Actually, I think it's on this page as well. In any case, yeah. So my Tuesday talk, it's a letter series that I do, and I read a letter to you. So this week I read a letter that was emailed to me, um, but I didn't get the letter until more than a year later. But when I did get the letter, I was extremely grateful for the contents of the letter, and I'm extremely grateful for the person who wrote it. So there's that. Uh, Yeah, and I mean, that's important to do for your wellness. You want to stay in a spirit of gratitude. We all are going to go through things. We're going to go through difficult times, and it's important that we hold on to it's like a toolkit, like something I have, like that you hold on to something, that you hold on to the positive moments, you hold on to the positive people, uh, your character, your strength, your fortitude, who you really are is really going to shine when you go through a difficult time. And I've met most of my best friends that way. Not when things are glittery, not when things are going well, but when you go through a challenge, I think that's when you really see the true colors of anybody, really. So all of the people that I call friends and that are close to me, we've gone through something, and I know how they react. So I know just what they're made of. So there's that. That's my Tuesday letter series on Instagram. And the Instagram's under the same name as this account, so Bellafemminista. So I did get my run in today, and I did get cleaned up before I came on, so I'm not dripping with sweat. uh, yeah, today was a good day, and it was a good day in particular because I'm finding more and more uh, solutions, and I'm doing this on the go. So it's not that everything went perfect in my day. It's not that no, that I didn't encounter anything unpleasant. It's just that I'm finding ways around it, that I've come to acceptance with this fact that there are difficulties in life, and the only way to get through them is to get through them. There is no, I will be okay if only I avoid every sort of uncomfortable circumstance or every obstacle that gets in my way. That's a fantasy world that doesn't exist. So we need to plan on facing challenges, and we need to plan on overcoming those challenges. So it's a good day because I'm coming around to that realization. You face challenges and you overcome them. So there's that. I'm excited and a little anxious about the career challenge. So the career challenge was launched more than a week ago, and the due date is August 1, 2020, 9 a.m. So whatever time zone you're in, you're going to post your resume, your curriculum vitae, your portfolio, or all of the above to social media. And we're asking your social networks to do some legwork. We're asking your social networks to support the populations that you say you support. We're asking them now to support them in deed and not only in word. So you support women. Let's see if we can get more women hired to C-level positions. You support people of color. Let's see if we can get more people of color hired to C-level positions. So there's that. Um, yeah, of course, I carry a lot of weight uh, in that. So that's going on in my life. What else is great? Yes. So I have been staying on top of my exercise. I've pared it down a lot. So I'm not exercising at the same rate that I would, at the same duration, at the same intensity, but I am making sure that I'm doing something. And that's good for your overall health, for your physical health, your mental health. it really doesn't hurt you to keep doing that. It's something you should be doing. Emotions. Your emotions can be all over the place, and that's okay. You're a human being. Once again, you want to plan on having some difficult days, some down days, but you do want to have a toolkit there where if this day is really going south, these are the things I'm going to do to get myself out of it. Uh, and it's a toolkit. So you shouldn't be, when you're in the situation, it's really hard to then start to think to yourself, well, how am I going to get out of it? So your toolkit is something that's prepared there for you. So I've mentioned this before, whether it's prayer. There have been times when I've been honestly so down that I couldn't pray. So if it's you putting on a song, um, I wouldn't suggest. It's nice if you have someone you like to call, but the thing is, people are unreliable. And I don't say that in the glasses half empty kind of way. I say that because your toolkit should be something, your toolkit should be something that you can access. Now, your best friend, it's fine if you have one, but what if you're going through something and your best friend is unavailable? What if your best friend is going through something else? If that was your essential plan for how you were going to get out of this really funky mood, you're kind of in trouble when your best friend is unavailable. So your toolkit should be something that you can access, something that you can do, something that can't be something that will be available to you, that's within your control. So yeah, that's that. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't rely on people, but I'm saying that your toolkit needs to be foolproof, if there's such a thing. So there's that. Yeah. So I'm looking out for your career with the career challenge. I hope people take it seriously and participate. And I hope a lot of good comes out of it. And yeah, we're all in this together. We're going to get through this together, but it's really important that we do the work if we want to get through this. And I want to get through this. I know you all do too. So, wellness. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good. I am still, I feel physically okay today, which is always a good thing when you're feeling well physically. It does help your mental and your emotional health. What else can we get into? So, yes, of course, I'm going to go to work after this when I'm done, which has sort of been the norm for me, and still technically challenged a little bit. And yeah, it's okay. That's okay for me. As well, as you can see, the camera's sort of grainy. It's not the best quality of anything, and there's no team here to troubleshoot these things or to get things on as usual. I'm not a makeup person, so that I won't say, but I could look better, but I'm okay. So, yeah. I know that people are stressed out. I had a conversation with somebody who was a little stressed out, and that stressed me out the other day. And what I did, honestly, I sort of lost about 6 hours in the day after that. I was really frustrated. I spoke with somebody, and they just began to unload everything that they were going through, and it was very unproductive. Uh, it wasn't in a space where I could give this person any assistance because this person wasn't in a position where they could listen. It wasn't in, they weren't in a position where they could do that. And so this person was unloading, and finally I said, okay, I do need to give some sort of support here to help this person get out of this. And they were not particularly pleased with the response I gave them. Before I could even finish, this person cut me off and was just like, I really don't need that, but not in such a nice tone. So, the conversation was cut short. That person exited the conversation, and I was just thinking, this person has constantly violated all of my rules, all of my non-negotiables, the things that I have put in place in my life, my boundaries, so that I feel good. Uh, being too pessimistic all the time, putting themselves in the same situations repeatedly, and sometimes even engaging in dangerous behaviors, and then uh, not disclosing them to me and then entangling me in a position where I could potentially become injured because they're not adhering to the things they should adhere to. So that was a time for me to do an inner check, not look at, oh, this person did this, but for time for me to do an inner check and say, okay, here's what's going to happen from now on. From that, I did get something positive because we're looking for bright spots. From that, I decided, that my non-negotiables have to be non-negotiables. Your rules don't work unless they work, unless you put them into practice. So I said, no matter what, this person may consider me a friend, and this person repeatedly said that. As my friend, I would expect something different. And I'm thinking, and I said, as your friend, I have to tell you the truth. If you're doing something that's unhealthy, unsafe, unwise, and that's going to hurt you later, I have to tell you. And this person wasn't receptive to that. So my non-negotiables have to be in my non-negotiables. And that's what I got from that. No breaking the rules for anyone. So we're going back to that. The other thing that happened just today, I realized that made me sort of, I don't want to say it put me in a funky mood, but it's never a pleasant thing when you realize that your rights are being violated or you're being treated differently than someone else. And even in the midst of a global discussion about equality and equity and diversity, even in the midst of all of this, something, and it's not an individual, but it's a platform. I made these videos where oftentimes I have to convey information that is necessary, but that may, to just put it bluntly, a lot of times I have to call people out in positions of power, often because no one else is willing to, and because they're engaging in behaviors that are harmful. And I'm not a person that can look at someone being harmed and say, well, I can't help you because the perpetrator, the wrongdoer, is someone that can injure my career. So I made these videos and I didn't even realize that they weren't up until today. I made these videos and posted them, and they were very blunt, extremely. And but respectful, because I always am. But if you're doing something wrong, whether or not you're the mayor of the town, of the city where I live, whether or not, whether or not it's a judge, that's something I can't be silent about, particularly when I know that my not saying something is going to imperil someone else. So I came across a situation like that. And these videos were, I don't know, because I wasn't there when it happened, if they were taken down, but they were up and then suddenly they weren't up. And I said, okay, it wouldn't be the first time that I had to call out someone in a position of power. And that wrong was sort of put on the back shelf or removed or something. But I said, that's okay. It's okay, because there are other platforms. And I am actually going to go repost those videos, because people need to know that these people violate civil rights, they violate human rights, and they violate women's rights. And we can't allow it to be another situation where this is not known, or they get to do it again with impunity because there hasn't been a sufficient trail. Yeah, so that's that. The other thing is, I'm pretty sure my accounts are being monitored, not in a healthy way, but by some bad acting lawyers and their friends. That's not something that I can do anything about. It's a public forum. So that's just something that I have to deal with, but I can't not speak the truth because of that. At the end of the day, we all go through things. And like I said, the challenge is finding ways to go around that. I remember being unhealthy physically, mentally, emotionally for a very long time because I was being mistreated, and I really had no avenue to report that misconduct. What do you do when you're being mistreated by the people who are supposed to uphold the law and defend the law? What do you do when they're the ones who are discriminating against you, when they're the ones who are hurting you, when they're the ones who are targeting you? The answer: you fight, you pray. You have to survive, because my surviving means that somebody else will not have to go through those things, because I fought harder, because I spoke out. So I'm here for you today, and so I'm going to pray for you today, because I don't want you to go through many of the things that I've had to endure all of my life, for most of my life. And that I'm still enduring right now, because people didn't speak up, because people weren't willing to call out people in positions of power and authority for the misconduct that they're committing. So, Lord, I thank you for my life today, and I thank you for the lives of everyone who is still here. I know some of us have had to fight challenges and battles. I know some of us have really Some of us have struggled. Some of us have fought for our lives. Some of us know what it is to overcome obstacles. Some of us are still trying to overcome obstacles, and some of us feel like we're treading water. So I thank you for everyone who is here today. I thank you for everyone who is healthy. I thank you for everyone who is in the midst of a struggle but has enough strength to know that they will survive, they um, that they will make it. And I do pray for everyone who is in a struggle, regardless of what it is, whether it's internal or external, whether it's finances, whether it's a mental struggle, whether it's emotions, regardless of what that challenge is. I pray for everyone, whether it's an addiction. I pray for everyone going through those things, that they would be the victor, that that struggle would not get the best of them. I pray for everyone who is suffering right now, from the people that are hungry, from the people that are mourning the loss of a loved one, to everyone who's just lonely, to everyone who's just anxious and depressed and doesn't know when they're going to make it, or they don't know when this is going to be over, and they're just looking for some relief and some assurance. Uh, there really is nothing, there are no small worries. If it's worrying you, it's not small. And you're not small, you matter, and you're important. So, yes. And I pray everyone has a really good night. Yeah. Always looking for the bright spots. We're here for wellness. Hello, Mr. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but it's so much easier to, amen. I'll say Mr. Jacob. I hope I say your name correctly. Um, yeah. So I'm going to go do some work. But I am glad for everyone that's here, for everyone who's alive. And yeah, let's try to spread as much love and positivity as we can. And it's okay when we have those dark days. If you have to cry to make it through, that's totally fine and acceptable too. In any case, yeah, here's to better days. Here's to better nights. You are very most welcome. I try to do what I can. Yeah, so let's try to be light in someone else's world, and hopefully that returns to us. I believe that it returns to us. So, yeah. All right. Ciao, ciao. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mr. Jacob.